All right, well, there's several differences. The big difference, of course, is that our moon is permanent. It was formed, whatever, 5 billion years ago, and it'll stay with us until the end of the solar system. So it's with us. These other moons are temporary. They come and go, and in a way, it's misleading to call them a moon because they go around the Earth, but they're really orbiting the sun. They just happen to share space with the Earth for a while. So that's the biggest difference. And the other difference, of course, is size. Our moon is big, it's prominent in the sky. These other moons, quasi-moons, they're small, hard to see them. You need to track them with telescopes. So they're not really comparable in that sense. No, no, all these moons are so small that you won't see them. And it's really because we now have equipment that is designed to look for small things in the sky. See, the reason for this is because we're worried about planetary defense, to give it its formal name, which means that we're afraid of objects, or we're worried about objects like the one that killed the dinosaur coming and hitting the Earth. So the goal now is to discover anything in the sky that is big enough to cause any damage. And so what we have is telescopes. The new one is Vera Rubin, which are designed to look at the sky, take many pictures of the sky with good time resolution, and look for these things that are moving. So what you will find is that over the next few years, we will find many more objects in the sky, including more objects from interstellar space, more objects like these quasi-moons. So this is just because our detection capabilities are getting so much better. It won't be because our eyes are just not good enough to see any of these. It will be because of big telescopes and better detectors and better computational equipment. Almost everything that you see in the sky will not pose a threat. So the idea is simply that because if an asteroid like the one that killed the dinosaurs came, it would be an existential threat to us. So we want to detect them. It's not that anything that you see in the sky is likely to be a threat, but over the next, let's say, century, next 2 centuries, it is possible that something from space may come and hit the Earth. And so that's what we're watching out for. Not any particular moon not any moon in particular, but rather we just want to find anything that may be a threat. So this particular moon, no, I don't believe that it'll be a threat. But we would like to probe it, we would like to calculate its orbit and actually rule it out. And if it is possibly a threat, then maybe we can do something about it. Maybe we can send, like they did with the DART mission, maybe we can send a spacecraft out there to knock it into a slightly different trajectory. The first thing is I would like to caution against saying that it has any practical effect, because in many ways, why we do science is simply to learn. It's our imagination. We want to know about space. We find it exciting. And so we want to know about these moons. Now, as far as the specific scientific questions that you might get, many of these quasi-moons are actually pieces of our moon. Some may be primordial, some may come from the early solar system. If they come from the early solar system, then we'll have a probe into where we'll have an insight into what our environment was like 5 billion years ago. Now, life originated on the Earth almost near the Earth's formation, maybe 4 billion years ago. So this gives us an insight into how life on Earth was formed. If these quasi-moons are primordial, it may also be many of these quasi-moons, of these small asteroids, are things that are pieces of rock that were knocked loose from our moon. Maybe an asteroid, maybe a meteorite or a meteor hit the moon. Maybe a small asteroid hit the moon, and it knocked loose a little piece of rock. So naturally enough, that would be found close to the Earth, and you would see it around as a quasi moon. So in that way, it gives us some insight into our own moon. No matter what, it gives us it allows us to study how much material is around us, what the likelihood of collisions are with us, and so on. So it just lets us learn more about our environment. No, there's so much evidence to show that it was a large meteorite or an asteroid that hit the Earth. The most striking evidence is that there's an iridium layer at just the right time, and you would only get that iridium from an asteroid impact. So no, it's quite clear that it was an asteroid that kicked that killed the dinosaurs and 90% of all life on the Earth. If it weren't for that, we would never have had the niche for small mammals to come into existence. The dinosaurs were a very successful species. If I could add one thing, you note that there's been so much excitement about Three Eye Atlas, the the body that came from interstellar space. We'll find dozens of them over the next few years. Again, simply because our detection capabilities are so much better. So there's a lot more excitement to look for.
Good afternoon. This is Afternoon Sky. I'm your host, Sky. Well, as you saw in that video, that was a pretty precise and concise way of viewing the quasi. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He pronounced it quasi, I think, or quasi or quasi. I think he said quasi. I don't know. The second moon, quote unquote. Did God put that second moon near Earth's orbit? That's the question of the day, or for this segment anyway. Did God put that second moon near Earth's orbit? Did Jesus wave his hand and say, "Go to Earth's orbit," and have people fascinated by this little rock, this really in the sun's orbit, but just is like a tag along to the Earth? I just don't want to say anything against anyone's faith or theology. Um, Asteroid 2025 PN7 is a quasi satellite, a nickname for asteroids that orbit the sun but follow a path similar to Earth, making them appear to hover nearby. So, I ask you, if you are a believer, if you're a believer in the deity, the sole monotheistic ideal of God, did He place this body of celestial material in the pathway close to the Earth to keep it company, to keep it keep us guessing, keep sending out a message saying He's there? Is He? Are you one of those people that say that this is all for a reasons, for quote unquote a reason for God's existence? This is Him showing Himself. This is Him letting people know what is going on in His world, what's going on in His mind, what is happening with that. I would like you to know that I respect people that believe in God. I am an atheist. I am a proud non-believer in the theory of God. Hell of a theory, but a theory nonetheless, as Mr. Troy Star Terrain would say. But I open up the doors because I'm super outnumbered. There may be 10 million, maybe 5 to 10 million atheists, like strong atheists in the world, and there may be quarter of a million, maybe even less, maybe 50, quarter of a million, quarter of a million, maybe 50,000 objectivists, maybe, I guess so. like strong objectives, not like, oh, I read some Ayn Rand books, they're really cool, I like them, but I'm not an objectivist. I still believe in God. I still believe in all these different things. No, I'm talking about serious, hardcore, absolute objectivists. I couldn't calculate how many there are around the world. I don't know the exact figures, but it's pretty low. Either way, I'm way outnumbered. There's billions of believers in the world. Billions. There's not billions of objectivists. There may be close to a few million or over a few million atheists around the world, but not even coming close to it. So this is I like this stuff. This is science. I love scientific things. I like science fiction. I love contemplating about the cosmos. Thank you, Carl Sagan. Thank you, Bill Nye. Thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson and others for sparking my interest. Dr. Kaku, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Dr. Kaku, just a few other people that are just in my mind who have inspired me to look into the heavens, quote unquote, and wonder what is out there, what is supposed to be coming towards us. My good buddy, we're not friends. Maybe we are friends. We just haven't met each other. But Dot Focus gave me the idea about was it 3i Atlas or something like that? I3 Atlas something. I always confuse it. But he was just talking about that just the other day, and I actually had a segment on the show about it. But this seems very interesting. I just want to know: did God put that second moon, that quasi-moon, near Earth's orbit? Did God do that? And why doesn't he do anything else besides it? Why does he make he makes the flowers grow, he makes the rain fall, he makes is that all God? Aren't we at a place where we can have the sense ability of technology? I always say we have a first century morality. We have a 21st century technology with first century morality. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. Uh-oh. I see Holly in the chat already. Are you off work? Are you off work, Holly? Hello, hello, hello. I'm about to drive home, but I wanted to say hi. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you'll be able to come back a little bit later. I'm walking out the door. Oh my gosh. She says she's walking out the door. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I salute you, Holly. Thank you very much. She that's a friend. Holly is a friend of mine. I can definitely say that. She is a good friend. What time are you on tomorrow? Probably in the morning, maybe. Probably around 10. I don't know what's a good time for you, Holly. I might have to go into your schedule. What's a good time for you? I'm glad you got the notification. Yeah, somewhere around 10:30, 11 is what I was projecting to do. But hey, if you got a better schedule, if I'm just talking to Holly, it's all right with me, and everybody else can join in. But but yeah, so that's the main question of today. Did God put that second moon, that quasi moon, in Earth's or near Earth's orbit? Holly says I had the day off because I have a lame colonoscopy. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you're at a certain age. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say how old you are, Holly. I'm just gonna say you're at a certain age. Anybody that can understand when you get a colonoscopy, you can just figure that out on your own. But I'm not gonna state your age, just as a gentleman. Okay, so if you have the day, yeah, I know, she's laughing at my dumb ass. But if you have the day off tomorrow, I might come in. You'll probably. What are you going? You're going into the doctor in the morning. Yeah, I'm colonoscopy age now. Exactly. Yeah, they were just mentioning that to me. They're just talking that to me. They're talking when I went to the doc the other day. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to go see get your you'll have a few more years to see your colonoscopic colonoscopy. I don't know. uh, what is a proctologist is the person I think that does it. I have to be there at 10. Procedures 11. Okay, and so you're gonna have to rest, I guess, after that. So I don't know. You have to be there at 10. Procedures 11. That's usually when I do my show. I might come on around this time tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, okay. I hope so too. Yeah. Um. I don't want to interrupt any actions that you have planned afterwards or anything, because you you're like a super supporter. I really appreciate you. So I mean, I wouldn't mind coming on even at this hour. This hour seems pretty good. Um, so I do appreciate you, Holly. Relaxing at home, exactly. Yes, relaxing at home. That's right. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like even if you don't catch the live show, there's always the rebroadcast. I always like when you're like live right now. You're the only one in the live chat right now. That may change or it may not. I'm not sure, but I just thought I had to get this one off. While you're still here, Holly, what do you think about the what is it? They're calling it an asteroid. It's a quasi-moon satellite. It's right near Earth. What do you think about that? What do you think about? I said, I'm asking the question, since most people are believers in the theory of God. I know. I think you said you were an atheist too, Holly. Or is that true? Am I barking up the wrong tree? But I don't know what to think. I think that's frightening, G. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's very interesting to me. I always was taken by the cosmos, the upper layers of the world of the solar system and the galaxies that go beyond the solar system and just space in general. Okay, you are a non-believer. Okay, I got you, Holly. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so um yeah, you have to give it up. I mean, there's billions of we're in the minority. We're minorities. You're a minority, Holly. You're a minority. You're a non-believer. There are billions of believers. There's probably about 6 to 7 billion believers in the world, or maybe even more. Maybe there's 8 billion. There's 7.5 billion or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's up there. It's very up there. Yay! Give me my DEI. Damn it! What is that? Wait, you threw me for a loop, Holly. I always, what? The late uh Charlie Kirk called DEI, and I think I don't know if he was the first person, but people like him have said DEI stands for didn't earn it. That's the name they ascribe to DEI. What the letters actually mean. Why have you taken your face off the screen? Because I'm a distraction. I'm very distracting. I just want my voice out there. If I have my black shirt and my gold tie, my black hat, that's cool. But my eyes, I have contacts in my eyes. My eyes are very sensitive, and even without the bright lights, they are constantly blinking. Like, and when I saw myself, I'm talking and I have my eyes closed while I'm talking into the mic, and my eyes are blinking over and over and over and over. Since I'm a minority, yeah, you're a minority. You're definitely the minority. Um, um, yeah. So I just said, you know what? Let me just take this off. I just wanted it like this anyway. I don't even want to do a broadcast. I want to make movies. I want to make films. I want to make TV shows or something like that. I want to have my own studio. I'm gonna have enough land in Dover, Delaware, or maybe somewhere else in Kent County, Delaware. I'm gonna start, filming. I'm gonna have my own actors, producers, writers, gaffers, crew, cast and crew, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be wonderful. I know it is. Oh, Ish, I never noticed you were blinking. Oh well, I appreciate that, Holly, but I was like, I don't watch my show, so I turned on one show one time. I was like, God damn, I'm blinking like I'm on some speed or something like that. It's just so distracting. How does anybody take me seriously? So I just said, you know what? Forget it. I'm all right. I might have to change this banner though, because I want to put in um my information, but it's hard to do because it only says a bit of what the actual the photograph is, and you can only get that section of the particular one. You can't like choose your own section. It only has a circle for whatever part of the photograph or image you have. So just a little bit of backstory about that. Now we have two people in here. Somebody else is in here. We have Holly and somebody else. Yeah, oh, that's too bad. I appreciate that, Holly. I appreciate that. I mean, I just like it's cool for me now because like I can do whatever. I can scratch my arm. I can look up into the ceiling and sit back. Bumba, Bumba's in here saying, "Oh, hail Santa, not Satan, hail Santa." He may have a bit of he may have a bit of what's it called, dyslexia. Hey Santa. Yeah, we can get our wish list going pretty early now. It's only the 22nd of October. We can start getting our wish list together. So it's sent to the North Pole before this quasi-moon strikes in, and takes out a small city somewhere. Would that be God? Would God be able to do that like he did with the dinosaurs? God wiped out the dinosaurs, right? Didn't he? Did he not? Jesus did that. Jesus wiped out the dinosaurs. That's why you heard from the scientists say, he was saying how that's the only way that mammals were able to really conquer the world, because humans are mammals. We're at the top of the food chain on land. We don't have gills, so we're not at sea. We don't have the apparatus for breathing underwater. Holly says, I plan to do a lot of Christmas shopping online tomorrow. Yeah, is the moon supposed to hit us? I don't think the moon's going to hit us anytime soon. No, not the moon or the quasi moons or anything like that. I think we're going to be okay, Holly. I think we're all right. And this quasi moon is going to only be in the sky for the next over close to 60 years, or a little over 60 years. It's supposed to be 2083. That's when it's supposed to go out of the proximity of the Earth's orbit. That's when it's supposed to go out anyway. But I think we're all right, Holly. I think we're going to be okay. I think the moon's going to, continue. I think the moon, if I'm not mistaken, from what I understand, the moon protects us. The moon actually protects us from a lot of that's why you look at the moon, you see it's pockmarked with all those asteroid hits and everything. It's not like a smooth glass ball or globe or something like that. It's all pockmarked with holes and craters and stuff like that. So the moon pretty much protects us from a lot of things. It governs the seas and the tides and stuff like that. So the moon is cool. I like the moon. We went to the moon multiple times. We went to the moon so many times in the 60s and 70s that nobody cared about it. After the first one, people were like, "Oh, okay, that's all right. We went to the moon." But they played golf on the moon. They went on little cruisers on the moon. They did a lot of things on the moon. They're wilding back in the 1970s. Early 1970s. They're going wild. But yeah. So we're good, Holly. I think we're going to be okay. I think we'll pull through. But I just want to know, To anybody out there right now or in rebroadcast land, salute to you in rebroadcast land. Did God put that second moon, quote unquote, near Earth's orbit? Did he wave his hand? Did he have his toga on? Did he have a double breast suit on? What does God wear? Does he put on cologne? Does he drive a Lamborghini? Does he have like horses with chariot? What is it that God does? What is it in his mind? They say that in the Bible. His thoughts are not your thoughts, or something. Quote, I can't quote it, but that was the idea. His thoughts are not your thoughts. So, so just God just think of things up and says, "Oh, we're gonna have a quasi moon to the Earth," to get people all riled up and get them to be talking and going on. We'll see about that. But yeah. So thank you, Holly. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate Holly. I hope he wears a toga. No, God. I mean, what? I mean, that's what. See, this is how it gets weird. And when you get specific about God and Jesus and the biblical stories and everything, that's when it gets like the irony. Because they'll say that, oh, yeah, I believe in God. Okay, yeah. And you start saying how, quote unquote, nonsensical it might be. You start saying that. And they say, oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, that's ridiculous. Like, believing in this other ideal. I mean, it's not ridiculous. It's like a bad sign psychologically, as Ayn Rand would say. It's saying that you're not capable of standing on your own thought. So when I say that Jesus is driving around in a Lamborghini in heaven right now, and God is riding around a Ferrari, and they're racing each other from each day, like, I mean, you can say anything, can't you? I mean, but oh no, that's not. It's not part of the Gospels. That we don't know what if he has a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. Why can't I put think of God in a double breast suit? And who makes the suit? Everything is perfect. Everything just happens. It just comes into being. There's no work involved. There's no thought involved, quote unquote. It's just feeling and emotion, and that's how things come into life. It's ridiculous. I don't want to say it's ridiculous. Excuse me. I don't want to say that. That was a slip, because it's very profound that people believe this stuff. I used to believe this stuff wholeheartedly. I used to pray seriously. I don't anymore, but I know people that do. Seriously. Like, you're talking to yourself, literally, but then when you talk about other people talking about themselves, oh, they must be crazy. They're talking to themselves. But what the hell do you think prayer is? Talking to yourself. There is no God. What do you think praying is doing? You're just talking out loud. But I respect people that do that, because we still have the right to do that. You still have the right to say to follow whatever faith you wish to do in this country, and at least in the United States of America. We have that right. I mean, we have rights. I like what the late great George Carlin once said. They're not really rights; they're privileges. And he gave a great example. 1941, 1942, Japanese Americans born in this country, treated like enemies of the state. They got their money, though. I think they got their money, but still, the descendants got their money, I think. But Skylar's the new Christopher Hitchens. That's actually a good compliment. I appreciate that. I'm not as smart as Christopher Hitchens was, but he was very erudite. He was very accomplished and a towering figure in the intellectual realm. But I'm not that smart. I'm not anywhere near Christopher Hitchens kind of smart intelligence. Yeah. So I just it's goofy. It's goofy. Yeah. So did God put that second moon near Earth's orbit? That's the question of this segment. I I want more questions, comments in the rebroadcast section. I would appreciate that because I'm about to go into my next section, which is completely different. Okay, 30 minutes in, and I want to talk about my day. I want to talk about my day. So I get up, got family came over for breakfast, and we had brunch. My dad and my stepmom, my mom. I guess she's my mom. Whatever. But my aunt, my cousins, they came over. They're my grown cousins. They're like in their 30s and 50s. 40s and 50s. Or 30s and 50s. I don't know. Maybe late 30s, or early 40s, something like that. I don't know. But um, I I just was, we had a huge brunch. It was potatoes and onions, um, uh, eggs and cheese and sausage crumbles. Um, just it was just beautiful. Coffee. It was great. It was a wonderful experience, and it filled me up. I'm filled up. I don't think I have to eat today because usually we get Chinese food every once a month, and I'm gonna get this Chinese food. I was gonna get some pork lo mein, and I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the evening. I think I'm probably just gonna save it till tomorrow. I might get a few bites in, but I'm gonna probably save the rest for tomorrow. But anyway, the next part of the day was I went to the place where people say their most, is almost like they the worst thing that can happen to them in a day. They go to the dentist. They go to the dentist, and it's like horror. It's like pain. It's like agony. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to get. I have never experienced that in my life. I always loved going to the dentist. It was so cool to go to the dentist. I guess it's because when you go to other places, like in the doctor, they give you a lollipop, or you're going to go to the bank, they give you a lollipop or something. The dentist isn't giving you a lollipop. The dentist is giving you a toothbrush and dental floss, you know? But I had to get a cap replaced on my tooth, and it's just so great. The team, the ladies there, the doctor, and the nurse. I think that's the proper terminology. I don't want to disrespect her position, but her her um her team member, I guess you can say. I like to think of them as a team. They are just so professional and so funny and polite, and it's a really great symbiotic notion. So I'm really fortunate to have them in my life, as dentists, as dental professionals. And the key word is professional. And like, I still don't understand. You see that in movies, you see that in TV shows, you see that in commercials. Oh my God, the dreaded dentist. I don't want to go to the dentist. I can't stand the dentist. Never had that problem. Never had that issue. Never in my life. Never had it. Don't worry about the dentist. I look forward to the dentist. I get excited. I said, yeah, I'm about to get my teeth cleaned. I'm about to get my, get the cap on my tooth. I'm about to get the nerves out of my out of my mouth, because that's a word that's weird too. We say toothache. It's not toothache. It's really the nerve ending ache. It's the nerve endings in your teeth that are bothersome. And that's the thing too. Hold on. Bumma says, well, Holly said yum, because I was talking about food earlier. Bumma said they should have made a dentist horror slasher movie. Well, I think they kind of had that. I mean, they technically they had that with what was it? What was it? Was it Tommy, or was it Little Shop of Horrors? I think it was Little Shop of Horrors. I think, yeah, Tommy was yeah, I think it was Little Shop of Horrors, with Steve Martin. Steve Martin was a dentist, and it was like he was like the classic, maniacal, crazy, mean, nasty dentist that is just gonna is gonna make your teeth nice, but in the same time is gonna make your life a living hell for those few moments that you're in the chair. But yeah, who is they? I will make that movie. One day, maybe, a horror movie. Yeah, that would be cool. But I wouldn't. I would make it a flip side. I'll be like, the people, are attacking the good dentists. The people in the chair are the real horror uh the real monsters instead of the dentist. That's what I would flip it on. Call it the dentist. Yeah, that's real descriptive, real mysterious. You want to have a mysterious kind of um uh title other than that. But yes, thank you, Holly. Holly remembers little shop of horrors, bop shabop, don't stop the terror. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. I think it was on Broadway too. I think that's where they got it from. I think Little Shop of Horrors was on. It was first a musical on Broadway. Oh wow, okay, y'all are coming in. All right, thanks for that, Holly. By the way, it's her boyfriend, the evil dentist. Yeah, yup, true fact. Seymour, Seymour. Not Seymour, but the girl's name. I can't think of her name, but that's how she used to talk. She has a high pitched voice and stuff like that. I was thinking serial killer dentist. No, 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 no. I don't want that. I wouldn't make that movie. I wouldn't make that movie. The horror movie The Collector has a gruesome tooth pulling scene. So does the Dustin Hoffman movie. Oh my god. I might have to look it up. Dustin Hoffman. It was written by William Goldman. Dustin Hoffman. William. I'm looking it up right now. Hold on. Marathon Man. Marathon Man has a very famous dental scene in it. Yeah, Marathon Man was another example. I mean, it's a glut. It's a glut of horror movies and psychological thrillers, stuff like that. Hostel, yup. I would say Saw. I think some of the elements in Saw was like that. Like some kind of like apparatus for their head was like attached to them, and it was attached around their mouth or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's wild. But anyway, I just love the dentist. I love the dentists I have. They're very friendly, very accommodating. They're very personal. They're not like, okay, you can get in the chair now, Mr. Saunders, which I wouldn't mind. But they just go above me, like, you're doing awesome, you're doing great, you're doing wonderful. I'm just like, I just put up my thumbs or say, okay, yeah. Because they're asking you questions and stuff like that, and they're like, are they expecting you to answer? Or, I just put up my thumbs. Hostel scared the living ish out of me. That's what Holly said. Yeah, I have to rewatch Hostel. Hostel came out in like the 2000s, I think, or something like that. Mid 2000s. Saw had contraptions. Yeah, they put them on their head, right? Something like that. And if anybody remember Marathon Man? Marathon Man was crazy. That dinner scene is very, memorable. Dustin Hoffman, written by William Goldman. Salute to him. Rockin' power to William Goldman, the dean of screenwriters. Yeah, wow. Holly says she was scared to live an ish out of her, but yet she has Hostel, Hostel 2, and Hostel 3. she apparently enjoys being scared the ish out of her. Apparently, that's what it looks like. But no, I just love the dentist. I really not just to be like, oh well, I have to go against the grain and say I like dentists. No, I just like it. I never had a bad dentist, even when I was going to private facilities, which I'm glad I have my 100% Veterans Affairs disability rating that allows me to get free dental care. That's amazing. Love that fact. Holly says the kids and I just watched Train to Busan. I'm probably messing up that, or Busan, which is a good Korean zombie movie. A little off topic. No, it's still on topic. We're talking about movies. I love horror movies. I do too. Horror movies are great. I love horror movies. I think the first horror movie I ever seen, man, first one. I want to say Carrie. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was Pets. No, no, no. It wasn't Carrie. Matter of fact, I know exactly what it was. It was Child's Play 2 with Chucky. Child's Play 2 when I was like 5 years old, 7 years old, something like that, 5 or 6, 7. I saw Child's Play 2, and I saw Child's Play 3 before I saw Child's Play. That's the weirdest thing. I did the same thing with Ghostbusters. I saw Ghostbusters 2 before I saw the original Ghostbusters. But yeah, the sequels, I sometimes the sequels are better than the original. That's true. I enjoy them more so than the original. Yeah, I love horror movies. Holly says she just watched The Strangers Chapter 1 and it was scary. Ooh. You know what movie everybody's talking about? Is Weapons. Weapons is supposed to be the greatest, scary movie in the past 5 years, I think, or something, or 10 years. It's very popular. Holly says I got to see the new one in theater. I know. I love theater. I love theater. The theater is so great. I mean, it's wonderful when you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your laptop, or you can watch it on your desktop, or you watch it on the big screen at your own house. But that theater experience is totally different. It hits different. It has to. When you hear the and the somebody screams. I'll never forget. I was at I Am Legend. I was with my girlfriend at the time, beautiful Boricua young lady, and we were just sitting there, and this alien or the zombie or whatever, I think it was a zombie in I Am Legend, and it came up on the screen, and the guy said, "Ah!" We just looked at each other and we're like, because we just got out of the Marine Corps recruit training. We were like, come on now, like nothing's gonna scare us like that. Are you serious? Like we just looked at each other with with this knowing grin. Bama says, I think somebody from Whitest Kid You Know directed Weapons. Maybe that's true. I'm not sure. Weapons, I've never, yeah, Holly, I've never watched it, but I've heard it's fire. I heard it is fire. Holly says, I think the movie I Am Legend is a masterpiece. I think it's one of Will Smith's best performances. It's up there with his greatest, science fiction thriller action movies, instead of his dramatic roles. Yeah, I love that I'm Legend too. I thought it was awesome. They're working on a sequel, I think. She said Holly said I loved that movie. Oh yeah, Holly. I had to plug. Here's my plug. Did you get my did you read my email? Of course you got my email. I sent it to you, but did you read my email saying I didn't mean to see it. Uh I want to make sure you got my story cuz yesterday, the websites were down on Monday and Tuesday. A lot of websites were hit and vocal medium was not immune. So definitely checked out that story if when you get a chance. I know it's kind of long, it's over 2,000 words. I know if you're busy, you got two little one, two young ones under your care, and you got your career. So I know I try to give you at least a story, one story a week, and you can take as long as you want. I've probably seen it 15 times. Wow, I Am Legend. No, I haven't read the new story yet. Yeah, so take your time. You have time. A week before I send the next one, but you can take however long you want. You can take a month if you want to. You're the only one that there. I don't understand. Vocal is a great site. Vocal is like a 89 on a scale of 100. It's very good, but it's not excellent. It's like it's on the precipice of greatness, because it could really be, uh, a great outlet, but at the same time, it's got the subscribe. I don't like its subscriber system. It has, you know, unpaid subscribers. I have no use for them. I've noticed that there's no use for the subscriber base I have. I have over 250 subscribers, but I get like 3 views in a day. That means that they're not paying attention, they don't care, or something like that. But I have one paid subscriber, and you can guess who that is. Okay. Holly says, I checked all day yesterday. Today I had a super busy day at work since I'll be out tomorrow. I'll be reading it tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. Jada Pinkett should have played one of the vampires. Now, see, Bumble, you say that. I'm not going to repeat that because I don't want Will Smith to walk up on stage with me and slap me. I'm going to have to, punch him in the throat, allegedly, kick him to his knee. Listen, don't lie. You have female fans over there. Yeah, well, I would like to know exactly who they are. That'd be nice. Jada wouldn't need makeup. Oh, wow. See, Holly. Oh, see. That's Holly's. Hey, it's not going to be in the rebroadcast. I'm just going to say that. It's not going to be in the rebroadcast. Oh, man. That's Holly's words. The views expressed by Holly Correnti do not reflect those of Scholar Saunders or any of his affiliates. Please be discretion is advised. That's what I said. That's why I was like, I don't have to punch him in the throat. He ain't gonna slap me. He ain't gonna just slap at me. It's gonna be some tussling. It's gonna be something. Or I'm taking him to jail. He's not gonna. I like what Dave Chappelle said. Dave Chappelle said he might come up there. He might even, get too close enough to slap me or something like that. But he's not gonna have a comfortable night the rest of the night. He won an award just a few moments later. That was the most bizarre Oscars I've ever seen in my life. He slapped him in front of tens of millions of people around the world, like literally. And like Chris Rock didn't press charges. He didn't do nothing. What's one woman has 3 names? Vicky Lee or something? Bumba, don't let Scholars fool you. He's got a female fans on the writing site. No, I would love to know who they are. They have to let me know. I don't know all of them. I know a few like that come up, but they don't always say anything. But hey, Sir Rick James, ladies and gentlemen, without the E and gentlemen before the M, it's the man who brings you the latest in coke hippos, black killers, angry wasps, honey badgers, and Ayn Rand. He is now bringing you the latest in the second moon. Get your packs up. Yes, lady in the room. That's right. I appreciate that, Rick James. Up to 4 people. It's going to go up to 77 people when I'm about to clock out. Watch. When I clock out in an hour, well, not an hour from now, but after the hour mark, that's when everybody likes to pile in. Y'all are funny. I like y'all, but y'all a little funny. Holly says, "Look at Will Smith's son coming back to talk ish to Chris Rock in a face full of makeup." Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't see that. I know he has a restaurant. He has a restaurant called, I can't remember what the name of it, but he's literally feeding homeless people. I don't know how that business works, but it must be donations or something like that. It must be a 501c3. I don't think it's a private. Well, it's a 501c3 can be private, but it's not a standard business. It's not a they call it nonprofit. I hate that term nonprofit because it doesn't have to be money that you profit with. It could just be the time. It could be with the spiritual benefits you get from having such a organization. So I think everything is all profit. It's all profit, depending on what it is. It's not, maybe it's not they're tax deductible charitable organizations, but even if something is not tax deductible, it's still profiting, or something that's they call them NGOs, non-government organizations, or um like I said, 501c3s. He's selling makeup on the side. I did not know that. He looks ridiculous. I'm not following uh what's his name? Jaden. I'm not following Jaden like that. But if whatever you say, Holly, I will say that has to be true. I'm gonna look that up because I didn't see that. I just saw a clip of him giving out food to the homeless. But this is a funny thing. Like the late great George Carlin said as well. He said, "Why don't you give homeless people a magazine? There's a magazine for everything: fishing, hunting, uh, beauty. There's basketball magazines. There's hockey magazines. There's wedding magazines. There's all these different magazines. There's even a magazine for walking." He said, "Walking. Give homeless people a magazine." He said, "There's no money in it though." Oh my God. Uh oh. See. Oh, hold on. Now, Holly, we're gonna have to put on the boxing gloves now, girl. She said nonprofits are bull. Not every nonprofit is made the same. Technically, Ayn Rand Institute is a nonprofit organization, but is it a profit organization because it gets it spiritually? It sparks minds. It delivers books. It does a lot. Wearing purple eyeshadow. Okay, see, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. Yeah, Homeless Magazine. I thought that was brilliant. I think he was joking, but he was serious at the same time. Sometimes you can take, George Carlin's work and say, "Oh, he was just joking." No, no, he's serious. He's like, it's funny because it's so radical, but it's like the truth. I mean, just imagine if there was a homeless magazine. There'd be places to eat, places to go to the bathroom, places to what bridges are the best, across the country. How many times can you go into the Walmart parking lot and just sit your car, squat there in your car? Can you do that? I don't even know if you can do that. Um, I know that truckers, I think, can do that. Will Simth. Okay, I like that. That was cool. 95%. What's 95%? 95% is what? Oh, 95% of nonprofits. I think that's what you're saying. Hobo Monthly. That's a good one. That's good. That's good. Hobo Monthly, or or weekly. No, but I think it should be a monthly. It should be monthly. Yeah. Boho Hobo. Will Simple. Best places to do fit. Yeah, exactly. Best places to do heroin. That's the places to do fentanyl. I've always said that about that too, because Holly, we both, been in the trenches. People that go to AA and NA and are around that kind of area. I've been through programs. That's the reason why I know Holly, because I was in a program called Reach in Brockton, Massachusetts. And hopefully I'm not snitching too much, but anyway, I'm just trying to fulfill my quotes. Anyway, so it was a totally, you can't have alcohol or drugs. Obviously, you couldn't do anything like that. You had to be, tested. You had to get a breathalyzer. You had to get a test every, just a random test, drug test. See what's in your system. I've been through all of that. So I mean, I side with the people that go through that understanding, because I don't understand it. Because if you go through that, I sympathize with you, but I don't understand you, because there's a lot of things you have to do to acquire alcohol, drugs. You have to go out of your own way. You have to say, "Well, I gotta get money. I gotta get, I gotta have some transportation. I gotta get the means to go there. I have to meet this person at this certain time. There's a lot going on, and then you have to use the stuff. You have to know how to find the right vein. You got to know how much coke to snort before you have a heart attack. You have to have how much gin that you drink, how much vodka to drink before you're completely inebriated. I mean, it's a lot, and I don't understand. I don't understand how they're and it's a weird thing. It's like not me. Yeah, millions of people came before where they had issues with drugs and alcohol. Not me. I'm not gonna have an issue with drug and alcohol. I'm gonna take these pills. I'm gonna smoke this. I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna pop this, whatever. And I'm not gonna be affected negatively. I'm gonna be all right. And then they find themselves in a position where like, whoa, I'm not all right. And then they go to AA or NA, and then they turn their life around, and then they get a degree, and then they go to and then they become counselors, and because they know what the road is like, and so they then go and show other people the way, and they're making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, which is good money. It's not a lot, comparison wise, but you know, they know more than most people about the dangers and the hazards of taking drugs and alcohol. How the hell did I get on this topic? I don't know. Oh, we were talking about homeless people, but that's the thing. It's mental health and dental health. I'm gonna try to tie it back to my original ideal. Dental health and mental health. I learned that if you have a tooth and it gets rotten, it's not really your tooth that's rotten. It's the nerve system. It's the tissue in your gums. And if that place gets rotten, it can get into your bloodstream and kill you. So you should literally take your mental health as your dental health as seriously as your mental health. I always say those two go in tandem. Because when you have great dental health, you should have, chances are 80-90% you're going to be very healthy in your life if you have good dental health. If you have poor dental health, you're probably going to have terrible health. Holly says mental and dental health. Exactly. I'm trying to remember, I'm trying to remember who I went to. Oh my gosh, who did I go to when I was at Brockton? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. But anyway, he told me I would have another what's it called episode. He was like, "You're gonna have another episode." I was like, "No, I'm not. What I do? Have another episode?" It was months later, but it still happened. But if that didn't happen, I might not have got my full 100%. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody talks about that though. Very few people. There are movies that hint at it. There's Born on the 4th of July. He says, you don't want to, take money from the government. That's, you don't want to be on welfare or something like that. I'm just giving a brief synopsis, a brief, paraphrasing. And then in Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan is like, I'm living off the government tit because he's got no legs. He was injured in the war. I got injured as on duty. My mind was injured. I have a mental illness. Holly says, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so if I could just wrap all this up and say, go to the dentist. Go to your dentist like you go to your psychiatrist. Go to a psychiatrist, go to a dentist. That's the other profession they like to make fun of on TV and movies. They want the Freudian kind of way of looking at it. You're laying on your back, you're looking up at the ceiling. Somebody's just behind the desk, scribbling notes or making faces and stuff like that. And you're like, yep, yes, okay, great. That was wonderful. We had a great hour. I'll see you next week. And that'll be $400 an hour, please. We spent 4 hours in here. So what was that, $1,600, something like that? Yeah. So psychiatrists and dentists, they get a lot of flack. Holly says, I have now learned your original story through this and through the Ayn Rand piece. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the Ayn Rand piece. Salute. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's the reality. That was true. That was all. I mean, I didn't make any of that up. That was all nonfiction. You know. Or yeah, origin story, not original. Okay. But it's original because I wrote it. You're still right. It's still right. It's original because I wrote it myself. But yeah, see your psychiatrist, see your dentist. Mental and dental health, they are of prime. They are of great importance. Holly, how long you got on? Because I'll go on as long as you got. If you can go on, Bumble, you too. Whoever can go on, I can just keep running my mouth. However, I don't want to take you away from your kids, Holly. Of course, I'm good on that. I'm not trying to have your son or daughter grow up and bust into my house because their mama didn't raise them. Yeah, she always listens to this crazy guy on his radio show, this internet show. I don't know. So she didn't raise us. I never understood her. I never really got it. Go on a marathon. Oh no, I don't know if I can do a marathon. If you put in $100, 5 minutes, okay, that's good. We can do 5 minutes. I can do 5 minutes. Go on a marathon. No, can't do a marathon. I'm gonna need at least $100 in my Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal for a marathon. But Holly says 5 minutes. That's cool. I can see I got 5 minutes right now. It just crossed over to an hour and 2 minutes. So at an hour and 7 minutes, I'm gone. Start 8 hour show. Yeah, I got a few. I got a few shows that go for I have a 6 hour show. I think I have like 2 or 3 6 hour shows, especially when it was Diddy time. When it was Diddy time, I was on it. I was waiting for the verdict. I was waiting for the sentencing. Yeah, so salute to Mr. Troy Star Terrain. Salute to him. But yeah, so Diddy time pause. That sounds so funny. Diddy time pause. Stop. Diddy time. Hey, I'm not gonna. I'm trying not. I'm trying to ease away from pause. I'm gonna start saying "ayo" more. Hey yo, like what? What was that? Hey yo. Ayo is kind of funnier because you're not saying, you're not giving anybody any directions. You say pause, you're like, well, I'm gonna resume. So you say pause, but no Diddy. Exactly, no Diddy. No Diddy. But I just be like, Ayo now. I'm going back to that. Ayo. But yeah, so less than 2 minutes left. About to be a minute. Less than, oh, excuse me, less than 3 minutes. About 3 minutes now. Yeah, so mental and dental health. Like, it's always a stigma, especially in the black male community, if there is such thing, which I don't think there is, in the black male, atmosphere, wherever the case may be. There's been increases. I have to give him respect, even though I don't really like him. Charlemagne the God, he talks about getting treatment. He talks about getting psychiatric care. Dame Dash, whom I have a lot of respect for, he says that he gets his mental health checks and psychiatry and all that. So yeah, lesser charge exactly. Yes, Bumba knows what time it is. Lesser charge. What's his name? McKelvey something McKelvey. Larry Lawrence, is it Lawrence McKelvey or something like that? You can tell me right now, but I can't remember. I might have to look it up. Yes, Leonard McKelvey. Yep. Leonard McKelvey. Yep. Lesser charge. But anyway, I have to give him his credit because he has written books. He has written a book called, I think, Shook Ones, about trauma and different aspects of his career and his life, that he required him to go see a psychiatrist. And Dame, like I said, Dame Dash, he has mental health personnel that check on him. He has it on the show. I think New America, New America, New America. That's all he knows is New America, New America. That is funny. Um, but like I said, go to the dentist and have fun. I have fun. They crack jokes, like she be serious. Like, she's a Eagles fan. The doctor, the dentist, she's a big Eagles fan. I was like, earlier this year when I first got my I think I was getting fitted for a cap or something like that, and she was wearing the Eagles t-shirt, and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna win. And then I'll see her in next 4 to 6 months, and I'm like, yeah, that team, right? I said they weren't gonna win. I eat my hat. I swallow my words. Pause. Ayo. But it's been 5 minutes, and Holly said 5 minutes, so I'm listening to her. She's a lady of the house. So I appreciate everybody that came through. Bumba, Sir Rick James, and of course, Miss Holly Carenti. Which, my dumbass, let me make sure I get her banner up here. Where's her banner? Here we go. Subscribe to Z Therapy, Holly Carenti on YouTube for all your Zumba needs. Move and groove to the rhythms and tell your friends and family members to join in too. Tell her Silly Sky sent you. So anybody in rebroadcast land, make sure she gets 1,000 subscribers. So you always have to subscribe. I'm gonna leave the banner up and go out. So I appreciate you all and thank you. And I will see you sometime tomorrow. Maybe around this time. We'll see. Take care.